Hello, viewers. Halloween is here. It has arrived. My favorite day of the year. It's the best time of the year. It's where the spooks come out to play, the witches come out to fly, the wolves are howling. And most important of all, it's a good time to talk about anime that are very Halloweeny. Very Halloween vibes, very Halloween aesthetics. I'm talking about Soul Eater. Minor classic to some, but a total classic to me. I freaking love it. I don't know if it's the best shonen of all time by any means, but it's a pretty damn good one. It may have some tropes, it may be a little formulaic, a little conventional here and there, but by God, does it have a really cool Halloween aesthetic. Very like Nightmare Before Christmas, very Tim Burton-esque, but it also has everything that you want from a really cool action shonen series. It's also got great humor, characters are really funny. It's based on a manga by Atsushi Okubo, who you may know now as the creator of the Fire Force series, which he's also done. And that also has great aesthetics. He's a really good character designer. He's got really cool character designs and just sharp as hell aesthetics, man. Like, it's so cool looking. It's just really cool. Like, as somebody who is just I'm a strong believer that anime, when it comes to anime and manga, aesthetics come first. Style comes first, and Soul Eater has that. It's just dripping with style and really cool aesthetics. But it's also, like a lot of shonen, very colorful, very kind of whimsical, but it has some edge too. Like, it's got some teeth, this show, especially the manga, which I do recommend just a tiny bit more. But the anime, which was put out by Studio Bones back in, I want to say, mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s, is a really gorgeously animated show. It captures the look of the manga beautifully. And it's just a really, really dope series. I freaking love it. So you got this academy, this training school, kind of Harry Potter style, full of soulmeisters. And basically what they are is they're Shinigami, which in Japanese means, of course, Grim Reaper. They're a bunch of death dealers in training. And the main character is a girl named Maka Auburn. She's got a partner named Soul. And together they are trying to hunt down as many witches as they can, get their souls, so that they can become stronger, more powerful soulmeisters. Although Maka's actually the soulmeister, Soul, her partner, is actually a weapon who shapeshifts into a scythe that she can use to fight. And all the characters, the other two major characters in the show, Death the Kid and Black Star, they also have partners that turn into weapons. Death the Kid has Liz and Patty, who turn into pistols. Uh, Black Star is kind of like a Naruto knockoff. He's this ninja kid who has Tsubaki, who is she turns into just a big blade star, or what a shuriken, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's a pretty cool gimmick. It's a pretty cool idea. A little bit of a twist on the standard shonen tropes, because the Meisters are nothing without their weapons. They have to work together. So there's a team dynamic to this show. It's not just typical, like, I've got a special power, I've got to train, or I've got physical karate abilities. No, it's not like that. This is very much, these characters, they need each other to be powerful to fight the bad guys. But it starts with that simple premise of Maka and Soul and all these other characters coming together and basically just Harry Potter style trying to get better, trying to get good, at being soulmeisters, being good Shinigami. And there's a really funny boss who runs the whole thing, runs the school, named Lord Death, who is really fucking funny. Lots of great humor in this show. Really, Maka also has a deadbeat dad who is also a Meister, and he's really fucking funny. There's just a lot of great humor. One of my favorite characters in the show, Dr. Stein, is a guy, Professor Stein, I think it's Professor Stein, is like a combination of Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. He's got a big bolt in his head, and he's got this big lab coat, and it's just really fucking funny. He like chain smokes, and he wears big glasses, and like there's lots of like really funny, clever shit in here that's like pays a lot of homage to like classic Hollywood, like gothic horror, and again, some Nightmare Before Christmas shit. There's even like references at one point to like Twin Peaks, David Lynch shit in here. Like a lot of like fun little like horror nods to a whole lot of things, like Jack the Ripper and all that stuff. So this is a shonen that really celebrates like horror aesthetics. Again, lots of that in here. So it's really fun. It's really cool. And there are even times where it gets pretty dark and even a little twisted when the plot really thickens and things get a little more menacing. That of course I won't spoil, but yeah, it's good shit. It also has a really cool fucking soundtrack. Like I'm not gonna lie. The opening song Resonance. It's got several opening themes and ending themes, but Resonance is really cool. Black Paper Moon by freaking Tommy Heavenly Six. Fucking awesome. I believe that's what she was called at the time, but you should also look up the music video to that. It's really fucking fun and cool. Um, so that's awesome. I Wanna Be by Stan Punks is a really cool ending theme. Probably one of my favorite songs in the entire show, but the whole soundtrack is like really good. It's got really cool music. Everything about this show is just as cool as it can possibly be. It's also kind of unique to have a female protagonist as the lead because you don't get that in a whole lot of shonen. Even nowadays, I can't think of too many shonen that have like a female lead character. And Mako's really, really cool. I love her design. All the character designs in the show are so awesome, like I've said. But yeah, that might sound slightly eye-rolling, like, you know, it's got a female protagonist, who cares? But it's like, no, it's pretty cool though, because this was before that became like this very token forced thing in popular culture. You know what I mean? Like, it's just cool to have because usually that's reserved for like magical girl shows or whatever. And I love those shows. Don't get me wrong, but it's cool to see that in a shonen because I can't think of too many shonen that have female leads. And again, it's more of a team ensemble. They all work together, and you know, all the characters are great. Another character that I really love in this show, really love, Krona. I won't spoil too much about him, but he's like really unique and really weird. Um, and he almost feels like a Guilty Gear character, the way he's introduced, and like he's the one character in the show that has a weapon that doesn't cooperate with him. It's like a part of him, and it like tortures him to fight, and kind of uses him. So like, you know, he's like a kind of a pawn of the bad guys in the show. There's this one particular villain called Medusa. She's a witch, and Krona is kind of her underling. And his story definitely goes a lot further and is far more interesting in the manga. I will say that much. So I do think the manga is a bit better than the anime. That's my only gripe with the anime. Although the animation is great, the music is great, characters are great, I will say that the manga provides a better story overall and definitely a better ending, because this does have an anime original ending, which kind of bites, but I will say it's not the worst anime original ending I've ever seen. It does at least wrap up everything that the anime set up. At the very least, for the most part. It doesn't leave you with like too many hanging threads. It doesn't feel like an abrupt ending. But it is a little rushed compared to like what we get in the manga. So I do think the manga is the better experience for the most part, but I still recommend watching the anime first because just visually and aesthetically and the music, and it's just a really fun anime to watch. And you don't always get, especially at this time, you don't always get shonen that were like this high quality. But Studio Bones was so peak at the time, and they really did like, they put a lot of work into this show. Some of the fight scenes are just so cool and so batshit and over the top, and the characters can have such great expressions and be so weird and wacky. Especially Krona, who has again really cool designs for the characters, but again, like there are times where it feels like something out of like a Guilty Gear game or something. Like it gets very weird, you know. There's a lot of weird, fun shit in this show, and again, it's got really cool Halloweeny vibes, you know? Like, it is, in a lot of ways, maybe one of the most Halloweeny-esque animes of all time. Maybe not all that scary, overall. It is a goofy shonen for the most part, but it just captures the vibes of Halloween really well. So to me, it's like, this is the perfect anime for this time of year, in some respects. at least when it comes to the visuals and aesthetics and a lot of the tropes and gags that it points at, like gothic horror and stuff, is really fun. So yeah, Soul Eater. To me, it's a classic. Again, some people hate on it because it's a little conventional. It follows a lot of familiar tropes that we've seen in shonen before, but it does execute it really, really well. There's very minimal filler. Again, I do think the manga goes a bit harder on the violence, and there's even more fan service in there. So if you're looking for that, um, it also provides more of that. And it develops the story a lot farther along, and I think, you know, probably get more out of it than the anime in the long term, but I still think the anime is absolutely a must watch if you haven't seen it already, especially if you just like a lot of good shonen shows, which I do enjoy from time to time. Um, yeah, so that's Soul Eater. What do you guys think? Have you seen the show? Have you read the manga? That's one of the few manga I actually have read for once. And again, I do recommend it. But you guys let me know what you think of the series in the comments. And until next time, happy Halloween. And you get to burning. Live for the passion.